Anatata means which is not ready to be shot, which is not pulled for shooting. That is called anatata. So anatataya, that means to the bow which is not pulled for shooting. The bow which is not prepared for shooting. Anatata. A means negative. Atataya is pulled. Anatataya is not pulled, not prepared. Drishnave. Drishnave means only to frighten. To frighten. Only to frighten. Te ayudhaya. Drishnave means to frighten. When I want to frighten you. So Drishnave, to frighten, to create fright, to create fear. Frighten. Frightening. Te ayudhaya. Te means for you. Yours. Te means yours. Your. Ayudhaya. Ayudha means weapon. Ayudha means weapon. Ayudhaya. For your weapon. For your weapon. Te ayudhaya. For your weapon. Namaha. Namaha means I bow down. Namaskar. We say namaskar. Bow down. Bow down. Bow down. Bow down. Anatataya. Anatataya means the one which is not pulled, which is not prepared to shoot. Uta. Next is Uta. Uta. And also, that is the meaning of Uta. Te Ubhabhyam. Te ubhabhyam. Both of yours. Ubhabhyam means both. Two. Both. Together, both. Te ubhabhyam. We have to connect it with this next word, bahubhyam. Bahu means arms, these arms. So, te ubhabhyam bahubhyam, that means your both the arms. Both the arms. Ubhabhyam bahubhyam. Both the arms. Tava means yours. Dhanvane. Dhanu means bow. Dhanvane means for the bow. For the bow. Namaha, salutation. Namaha means salutation. Namaha means salutation, salute. Namaha. Ubhabhyam, bahubhyam, tava dhanvane. Tava is yours. Tava dhanvane, for your bow. For the bow, namaha, my salutation. So the total meaning is, O Rudra, so this is an addressal to Rudra. O Rudra, my salutations to your bow, which is not pulled to shoot, but only which you held to frighten us. To give fear, but not to shoot at us. And also my salutation to both of your arms, which are holding the bow. O Rudra, my salutation to the bow, which is your weapon, which you held only to frighten us, but not to shoot at us. My salutation to both your arms, with which you are holding the bow as the weapon. So Rudra, Lord Rudra holds the bow, the weapon, in his arms, which is very powerful. His arms are powerful. The bow is very powerful weapon. So in this mantra, the Rishi who composed this mantra, he says, my salutation to your weapon, which you are holding not to shoot at it, but to frighten us. My salutation to both your arms, which are holding this weapon. Which hold the weapon, this weapon. So, its salutation is both for the arms of the Lord, which he is using to hold the bow, and also to the bow. So salutation is to the bow and also to the arms which are holding the bow, for both. Which you are holding not to shoot but only to frighten us. Yes. So Bahu means the shoulder, these arms. Arms are called Bahu. Bahu means arm. Bahu in Sanskrit, if you want to make it singular, you have to say Bahu. Bahu means single arm. Bahu means two arms. In Sanskrit you have three numbers. One is singular. In other languages you have only singular and plural. But in Sanskrit, singular, dual and plural. Dual, two. That is the specialty of Sanskrit language. Singular, dual and plural. Why it is that? Why there should be, when other languages are having only singular and plural, why in Sanskrit there is singular, dual and plural? There should be some significance. That is, the Lord consciousness is only one, the I am. So that is singular number. And then dual, when the Lord creates His image as the beings, so the first one who is created is like a reflection. So Lord and His reflection. So dual. And the subsequent spreading is plural.
So therefore we need the second step.
Yes.
1, 2
And then many.
Yes.
Prakriti. Yes, Purusha and Prakriti. Purusha is singular, Prakriti, Purusha dual, and then all the creation is plural.
But this is I, you, and
I, you, and
you.
yes. That is why in Sanskrit, only in Sanskrit you have this singular, plural, and singular, dual, and plural.
But this
because for many people, they think why there should be dual, because after singular everything is plural. But no, this is because of that.
there's one step in between.
One step in between.
This is the Trinity, you know.
The Trinity. The Trinity.
It's all in Trinity.
In trinities. Yes. In triangle.
This is a triangle.
Yeah. So now about the Bahu. Bahu means the arm, and also Bahu means there are two lines, you know, when there are two lines.
Lines. One end, two ends.
And then there are angles, you know. When you can also represent like this. You have two lines. When there are two lines, you have the angles. So this angle, the lines which make an angle, that is also called Bahu. So when you observe the sky, so the sky, in the sky, the sun appears as if he is rising in the east and moving and setting down in the west. So it appears he made a path. The sun is making a path. After rising until going down, he is making a path.
So truth is just the planet turns.
Yes, the planet turns. But for us, it appears as if sun is moving.
Yes.
Of course, sun is also moving,
But it's not.
but this is not this moment. This moment is moment of our earth only. But for our observation, the sun is moving from sunrise to sunset constantly. So here, this when you observe at the eastern point, standing at one point to observe the east, then appears sun is coming from down, is coming up and going up and up, and then going down and again merging. So when you observe this like this, it is like a bow, this shape. And this bow is symbolically called the bow in the hands of Rudra.
So this is one day.
One day, half day.
Now that
Yes,
day is light.
yes, day with light. Because Rudra is, he is the form, he is the personification of the time also. What you call the time. Rudra is singular. Singular, Rudra. There are Rudras, plural, Devas, Rudras, and the Rudra is about the chief Rudra. Yes. He is also called Shiva in the different names. He has different names. Different names means different applications. That is the only that we have to remember. Always in Vedic, you find different names for one person. Why there will be different names? This is the first question. When you start studying the Vedic literature, then immediately what comes to you, the riddle is, why there are so many names for one person? It is not person, it is the principle. In the Veda, what you see as names, they are principles, they are not persons. Vishnu, Shiva, they are all not persons like us. But since we are habituated to think in terms of a form, it is not easy for us to get out of the form aspect, because our mind is tuned to a form aspect. So therefore, for us to understand in the beginning, we say this is Rudra and this is Shiva, this is Vishnu, this is Brahma, like this. In principles. But in the beginning, if you say you have to meditate upon principles, then say it's not possible. So you are habituated to form. So therefore, first you start with form aspect, then gradually you cross this and get into the principle. To the yes. That is why in the Vedic tradition, they explain you first start meditating upon some form of the Lord. That is what in the 12th chapter of Bhagavad Gita also, when Arjuna asked Krishna that I understand there are two types of practitioners. Those who meditate upon the Lord without any form, they are also devoted to you, and there are those who meditate upon the form also are devoted to you. Out of these two, whom I can understand more evolved and whom I can understand to follow, then the Lord says, of course both are the same, there is no discrimination, but the path of approaching me without a form is very difficult. That is what he said. Because you are in the form. Since you are in the form.
So therefore we need some time without form.
Yes.
And that's what we call the inner life.
Yes. So first of all, because basically we are having a form. So therefore, If you, from the very beginning, if you want to meditate the Lord without a form, you cannot. That is what the Lord himself said. So it is utterly troublesome to embrace me as formless.
So the physical death is liberation into the inner life.
Yes.
That's all.
Of course, the liberation into inner life is once again is not only at the time of death, but you have to get this before even. It is by a natural phenomenon. That is an evolution of the consciousness. Our consciousness has to evolve while we are in the body itself.
We are form bound.
We are form bound. The liberation is that when you evolve in your consciousness, then you are liberated even while you are in the form. But many people misunderstand that we are liberated after coming out of the body. That is not true. Whether you are in the body or out of the body, what is to be liberated is your attachment to the form. That is not in the body, that is in your mind. It's consciousness. So liberation should be at the level of consciousness. Because bondage is at the level of a limitation at the level of consciousness. So simply because you are in the form, it is not the form itself is not responsible for bondage. It is your attachment to the form is for the bondage.
Yes, also the aspect of liking.
Like and dislike.
Like the human being.
Yes.
You like them.
You have to like the form. Here you see, this is a very strange thing. This strange, that is what is called Maya. Because because we know that this form is temporary. We know that inside, but we don't want to focus ourselves to that because we have fear. Fear of losing this.
But fear is always
Fear of losing this. That is why we don't want to think about this. But it is true that it is temporary. But it is temporary, regularly temporary. Again. Yes. Yes. All this is very clearly explained in the Bhagavad Gita. It is very clearly explained.
This is a divine game.
Yes, it is a divine game. Because the Lord explained to Arjuna, why do you get into sorrow about this? He said, it is inevitable that every being should get a body. It is inevitable that he has to leave this body again. Again, it is inevitable that you have to get into the body again. You cannot escape this. That is what the Lord said. In the very second chapter itself, he said, this is creation. This is the order of the creation. You cannot. He said, nobody can change. That is what he said. Tasmat apariharye arthe. It is irrevocable, irreversible. Nobody can change this. Unchangeable law. It is an unchangeable law of the creation. That is why he said, why do you weep for this? Why do you get into sorrow for this? That is what the Lord said to Arjuna. Because Arjuna was very weeping and sorrowful. In the beginning he was confused. And he said, why you are confused?
There also comes the like and dislike.
There is like and dislike due to this. So if you have like or dislike about the form, then you are confused. You like your form very much, then you are limited because you only feel that I am means only this form. It is true that this form is also I am, a part of this, but it is not the whole.
But this is the process of liberation.
It's a process of liberation. So this is where some people have no discrimination. This form is important. Otherwise, why God should give you this form? Some people think that, oh, form is not so important. These are foolish. Form is also given. Yeah, it's an instrument given by the higher consciousness, by the Lord consciousness, by nature. It is given as an instrument. It has its own purpose. It has its own fitness. So that is why this is given. So we have to make proper use of this, but at the same time, you should not be very much attached to this. That is the problem.
Therefore the detachment.
Therefore the detachment. If you are too much attached to this, if there is some scratch, you are very much afraid of this, are concerned about this.
But this leads also to the right understanding of sex.
Yes, yes, the same thing.
Because if the couple sees themselves
Only the form.
only the form,
Then there is attraction and then repulsion.
In a certain darkness.
Yes, attraction and repulsions. These two opposite poles, they will influence us. Sometimes attracted, sometimes repulsion. All this what you find in the human life.
But the deeper sense is only continuation of the...
Continuation only. So therefore, for such a liberation, what is needed is observe the nature, first of all. What is happening in the nature?
This was the master said, observe yourself.
Yes.
So that you understand what is your capacity.
What is your capacity? You can understand clearly when you observe the nature, when you remember the law of nature, when you observe the phenomenon of nature, then yourself, you try to connect yourself to this, then you have no confusion, you are always in bliss. Otherwise you are confused. So what is the necessity to study the scriptures is to get out of this confusion.
Yes, and have this eternal joy.
Yes, yes. To see how all this is arranged, so well arranged.
And
Works together, yes.
for certain purpose.
Yes.
This is really liberation.
This is the path of liberation. So therefore this form aspect is also given. It has its importance.
Why this goal is comprising that?
Yeah, I am coming to that. Yes.
This is coming.
So this Rudra is the representation also. He represents also the time aspect. Kala, he is called Kalagni Rudra. Kala means time. Kala. Kala means time. And at this time of sunrise, the color is red. That is why it is red color is called Aruna.
What is the red?
Red color. Aruna.
Aruna.
There is a part of the Vedic texts which is called Aruna Prashna. This is called Rudra Prashna, and that part is called Aruna Prashna, which explains about how the suns are forming, from where the suns are forming, all the solar systems. So that part of the Vedic text is called Arunam. This is also a very important text. They are very important mantras. From where the sun is forming, how he is able to appear before us, explained in this Arunam.
Yeah, and the color red has a special vibration, has
Yeah, special because the color is the vibration.
It's a frequency.
The frequency. All the differentiation of the colors is because of the difference in the frequency of vibration. Because of that difference of frequency only you have different colors, manifestation of different colors. So, in the morning at the time of sunrise when you observe, of course we can observe the sunrise only those persons who wake up before sunrise. Those who sleep beyond sunrise have only the concept but not real experience.
Therefore, this discipline is so essential.
Essential. Before sunrise. That is why the time before sunrise is called Brahmi. 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 Because Brahma is the creative consciousness, Brahmi is the time where the creativity in you is in its high, intense degree. That is why a spiritual practitioner is expected to wake up in the Brahmi Muhurta and get ready by the time of sunrise to receive.
So wake up at 4.
Yes.
Be ready at 6.
Yes. But in the modern days, when you keep awake till beyond midnight, looking into television, you cannot wake up by that time. Impossible.
You miss the most essential.
You miss the essentials. Of course, the animals and birds are automatically, normally, naturally, they will wake up because they have no habit of looking into television. No birds or animals have any television for themselves. So they don't waste their time. That precious time is not wasted, but only the human beings waste their time.
They have also not their own programs.
Yes, they have only cosmic program, not own programs.
This is the so-called misuse of freedom.
Yes. The animals and birds, even the insects have, they follow the natural rhythm.
Even monkeys.
Monkeys, yes, all the beings except the human being. We have free will, freedom. So we always misuse this. So, and then at the time of sunset, the color is different color. It appears to be red, but it is a copper color. Tamra. In Sanskrit, this copper color, copper is called tamra. Tamra. So when we, from observing point of, when we stand as an observer, then from us to the point of the east where the sun rises, this is called one bahu, one arm, and from this point where we observe the west, on the western point where he goes down, is the second arm. So symbolically these two are called the arms of Rudras, Rudra. They make two angles. So one angle is towards the sunrise, one angle is towards sunset. these angles, there are different angles when you observe. So these angles are manifested by the work of angels. Angle, angel.
Only change.
Change the letter place.
Angles awaken angels.
And angles awaken angels. That is the meditation given by Master E.K. Angles awaken angels.
Arranged by angels.
Yes,
Angel arranged by angels.
angels.
These are the devas.
These are the devas. Angels are devas. They arrange the angles. So this path of the sun, from sunrise to sunset, what we observe every day, this path gives us, because when you observe this phenomenon which happens every day for us, when we observe this, then you can observe that what means our life and what is our span, how we can measure the span of our life by observing these things. Because what we call our span, how can you measure your span?
The span.
By the day, by the light, by the night.
But this is the life. This span here is the life in the form.
In the form. But this is according to the, when you expand this, then you can also get the span, higher spans also, higher time cycles,
As above, so below.
as above so below. Because when you start from yourself, this is what is by application of the law of correspondence. Because always you can understand the higher phenomenon by applying the law of correspondence. Because always you must remember this, the principle, as above, so below.
But this is really one value, what is absolutely necessary
Yes.
for spiritual teaching. This is one of the first things we got when we were studying in the Arabs.
Yes.
The Master Prabhu gives this as one of the first
One of the very first.
sticks that
Yes.
you can walk.
Yes. As above, so below. That means the plan is always cosmic,
Yeah.
and the same thing is worked out also in the form. So what happens in the form is according to the cosmic law only, not otherwise. Only we have to correlate them. That we have to do. What we learn from the study of the scriptures is how to correlate this, how to make a correlation between the cosmic and our human levels.
Bring it into practical daily life.
Yes, daily life. Because when you observe the movement every day, so you have sunrise and then the path of going up and coming down, sunset, going down again, sunrise. It is very cyclic. So this gives you a circular path. And this circular path explains you of many secrets of what you call a circle. A circle is formed around a central point. When there is a center, there is a circle. So the center is the I am. I am is the center. Wherever there is a center, the center is called in Sanskrit Bindu. Bindu means point. Bindu. Bindu. Bindu means point, a center. Point is a representation of center. When there is a center, there is its circumference as a circle. Wherever there is a center, there is circumference.
This is the center.
So, the whole phenomenon of the creation is explained as a relationship between center and circumference. The manifestation of this creation is explained in terms of relation between center and circumference. Wherever there is a center, there is a circumference arranged. When there is no center, no circumference. There is no circumference.
There is no center.
Then where is the center? That is, the question is, where is the center? Then the answer is everywhere. When there is a question, where is the center? Answer is center everywhere. Master Pythagoras master, he has given a sentence: center everywhere and circumference nowhere. And he said, meditate upon this. Center everywhere, circumference nowhere. How can we understand this? Circumference nowhere. That is the sentence given by Pythagoras. Center everywhere and circumference nowhere. That means, for example, when the board is clean and nothing else, if you put a center here, it becomes center and then it has circumference around this. If you put a center here, then it becomes center and circumference around this. So any point can be a center. That is why it is potential. The center is all potential. Center is the manifestation of, because consciousness is everywhere. So a center is the manifestation of the consciousness. So it can happen anywhere in this creation. So there are mystic mantras in Vedic texts also. In these mantras, one of the mantra he makes a question: where is the center for the whole creation? And then the answer is given immediately. Where this question arises, that is the center of the creation.
We are touching a little bit here the abstract
Yes.
mental.
Because wherever you stand in the creation, when you got the question, where is the center? What? Then wherever you stand, you can say, I am. Then it is the center. When there is a center, there is circumference. So center everywhere or circumference nowhere.
They understand themselves everywhere at the center.
Yes.
Imagine this circumference. It's going
Constantly.
constantly. This is the enormous scale of energy.
Yes. If you are standing on the earth, this is the center. Otherwise, if you are above the earth also, there is a center. So anywhere, that is why center everywhere. And circumference nowhere. You have to meditate. That is what Pythagoras said. You meditate upon this, then you will get the key.
So you see these basic phrases as a absolute.
Yeah. Center everywhere. Yes.
And not long phrases.
Yes, they're very short.
You can keep them in your mind.
Then they will open.
Then you have really a good understanding
Yes.
more and more of the environment.
Yes.
Very good.
Without complication.
There's nothing abstract.
Nothing abstract. Because it is a very simple example. So before you put any point, there is no center. But you can put the point anywhere else, then it becomes a center. So center everywhere.
And it has a circumference.
And then a circumference.
What is radius?
Radius. Radius. When there is a circle formed, then the distance between the center and circumference, that is what called radian. The distance between the center and circumference. And until this whole thing goes back, this always is not completed. That is why 22 by 7 has is given the value of pi. The value is 22 by 7. Always the remainder is 1 here, 1 point. And the remainder becomes a 0 only when this goes back into subjectivity. Then everything goes back, is absorbed. Then it becomes 0. Because 3 into 2, 3 into 7, 3 into 7, this in Purusha Sukta it is given Tris Sapta Samidha Kritaha. There are 21 sticks of fuel. 3 into 7 are 21. Plus the ayam. That is 22. So the 22 by 7, always you cannot complete it because the ayam is there. Fuel. Yes. When you put in the fire. So that is why in the rituals,
This is why the fire ritual is
21 sticks put together, and the one who makes this is the one. It's always symbolic like this. Tris Sapta Samidha Kritaha. So these are all the keys given in this.
So Ananta Krishna, what is 3 and 7?
3 and 7. 7 is a division because 7 is the number which explains you between the cosmic and yourself. The layers, these are the 7 layers of consciousness. At 3 levels, there are 3 levels of consciousness. 7 are the cosmic rays.
7 divine qualities.
Divine qualities. These are the 7 always.
They are always present.
3 at 3 levels. Because the 3 is another dimension There are always three levels. And these three levels, the three are actually one, but manifested as three. This is another symbolic. Three in time, and also three in our existence. For example, I say I, you, and he. Always three persons. And in time also you have past, present, and future. Levels of consciousness.
And
Seven is the layers.
layers of consciousness.
Yes, cosmic layers.
Usually do some study, this master for a coup.
Yes.
Set up.
Then it will be very easy. very helpful, very easy. This is 3 in 1 and 1 in 3. Symbolically, it is explained 1 in 3 and 3 in 1. You find in this, always in these teachings, you find all the keys like this. 3 in 1 and 1 in 3. And this is symbolically called Atri. And this Atri is called a Rishi, a symbolical name. It is one of the sages. Atri. Atri means not three. You see, this is very mystic. Sanskrit, three means three. Number, Sanskrit, the same word. A means negation. Atri, not three. You see, it is only, it is one, but you say one, but it is not say, not, it is one true, but it is not three. But they manifest as three. 1 in 3, 1 in time, 3 in time, 3.
It's very useful also to study Sanskrit.
Yes.
Sanskrit is not a normal language.
Yes.
It's a language.
That is why it is called the language of the Devas.
It's a simple
Symbols.
The future will teach you and
And you know, there is a mystic thing. Atri is called one of the grand sages, rishis. And this Atri has a wife, and she is called Anasuya. Asuya means malice. Anasuya means unmaliced mind. Unmalice. There is no malice or jealousy. Unmalice, malice. Jealousy. Malice. A negative aspect. It is a negative aspect in the mind. So, Anasuya, where there is no malice, the mind is pure mind. Malice, yes. So, the wife of Atri is Anasuya, and this couple, they are bestowed with a very divine person as son, who is known as Dattatreya. Lord Dattatreya.
This is one aspect of work in itself.
Yes.
Dattatreya.
Dattatreya. Dattatreya. Yes. Called Dattatreya. Datta means bestowed. Dattatreya, bestowed as Atri. Atreya. So it is. There is a story in the Purana And that this lady, Anasuya, she wanted to have such a child, a divine person, who is a synthesis of all the Trinity, Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva. A synthesis of the Trinity should come at a form as a child for her. And that is possible when your mind is pure. So here Atri is the Rishi and his wife Anasuya. So they were given this. So this Trinity came into the form of the child of this couple. So Dattatreya. So this Dattatreya is a very grand symbol. Because these are all principles, not just personalities.
But there is a own study service on Dattatreya.
Yes, yes. Dattatreya manifests also into form wherever it is needed. Because he is considered to be one of the grand masters for the spiritual evolution of the beings.
Because of certain not difficult, but we have the tendency to cling with everything on the phone.
Yes.
And this is a risk.
This is the risk.
Because these are principles.
These are principles. Always these are principles.
These are not yet incarnated in human.
Suppose you say father.
No.
Father is not a person, it is a principle.
It's a principle. Mother.
This we cannot understand. Father, mother and child is a principle.
Three principles.
Three principles. Yes, it is taken into form, but father means not a particular person. Mother is not a particular person. Mother is a principle. Father is a principle. If you understand, if you remember this as a principle, you have no problem. But if you take it only as a form, then you are stuck up with a limitation. So as long as you remember this is the principle, and this principle is worked out on the form. So any female person can attain motherhood, because mother is a principle. So this is actually an evolution. When we got into the form, before we are properly evolved, before that we always think in terms of the form. So therefore I think I am a male, she is a female, like this. After certain time, nature brings an evolution. Then we feel, oh, this is a man and a woman, little bit further. And later, when they are evolved, then say, I am father and mother for a child. So this is already some steps advanced in evolution. So when you become father and mother, so then you should remember this transformation. First is male and female, man and woman, father and mother. So this father and mother is higher. When you attain a child, then you should realize that nature has given you a means for your evolution. Before that only you think in the aspect of form and sex and all this. But you get a child, then it is an opportunity for you to get realization that it is for the evolution.